Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is Klein's Pro Impact Power Bit Set. It's in a pretty solid case. The case is actually important here, so I'm going to open that up. What we've got, 3 bit drivers, extension, 20 bits, and 2 extra long bits. But wait, there's more. I'll get to it. First of all, a lot of my non-metric world revolves around 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch bit driving. And that has to do with the types of machine screws that are used on campers and appliances. Those are the most 2 common things I work on. And as you know, I've done a bunch of stuff with various types of kind of multi-tools for those bit driving for 1/4 inch and 5/16. Here's another one. This one pops in and out, basically switching between the two. Of course, I've done it with Snap-on here. These are the 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch bit drivers. These do have the pass-through there, so if you've got a long threaded column, you can use those. But let's take a closer look at this. This sells for about 29 bucks. It's a decent selection of, actually it's quite a good selection of the things you might run into for both electronics, home electronics, and in my world, you know, RVs and campers and things like that. There are 2 long bits here. Both of these have that quick lock. These do not fit in a quick lock. I'll get to that. But anyway, the 2 got a number 2 square, which is the most common, and then a number 2 Phillips, plus expansion slots. At first I thought I might be able to fill up the expansion slots with some of the drill bits. I did that thing with overlanding drill bits, but I'm not able to get these to stay in. Doesn't mean I'm going to quit, but I thought that might be a nice set here. However, this contains a lot of stuff I don't need overlanding. And in fact, a lot of times this is all I've got. This is just a Snap-on 1/4 inch, 5/16 inch wrench. This allows me, assuming I have enough time in the world, to do most of the tightening. However, a lot of times it's nice to be able to put it onto some kind of a driver. And it turns out that these longer bits, compared to a standard kind of 1-inch bit, these bits by Klein are a little bit longer, which means they actually work in some kind of a holder here, not super strong, but they fit in there and I can drive them. Whereas this is really designed for something that takes the quick lock. That's what it's really for. If you put a smaller bit in here and let that drop in, you know, good luck. And I'm going to leave it there and get it out with pliers after the video. But anyway, the other is a standard 3/8. That's the classic next one. And a bit extension. That's where this comes in. That allows you to use it with some sort of a impact driver, because these are all impact rated. The other thing is, if you look under here, there's actually a pocket that would allow you to store other stuff. And this here, when I did the overlanding drill bit video, a lot of people said, just get a step bit. Well, one of the things is I need a step bit that has this quick lock, which of course this one does. So this might be the answer. The problem is, if you're going through any thicker material, you can't really, if I wanted to make it, say, 3/8 wide, a hole in 3/8 diameter, somewhere in here, I would need to drill this whole thing all the way in up to probably this 7/16 mark in order to get 3/8 all the way through. So as much as these are great, they do have significant limitations. Otherwise, that's all we would use. However, if a company made one longer with more space between the steps, I don't know if there's anything magical about this spacing. If they had a really long one that would allow you to go through something, maybe say 1/2 inch with one step, then you could get a uniform sized hole without having to step this up. If you wanted to drill through a 2x4, one end is going to be this and the other end is going to be this, unless you put it on an extension and drive it all the way through. So, you know, there are issues. But back to this, I can store things in here. This drops down flush, sits on this little shelf. So good thinking, Klein. As far as the bit set here, standard Phillips all the way through, a couple of squares, 3 different squares. It looks like I've got some posi drives, some slotted, and you know, whatever that thing's called, which is mostly replaced by the square. This is for outlets usually, and switches. But anyway, it's about 29 bucks. Honestly, the case is probably worth half that, because it's a nice, solid, heavy case. And if you can simplify things down to, you know, whatever bits and bit drivers you want, a few expansions. One of them I'll probably have is, you know, I love these longer Shockwave Milwaukee bits. Those do snap in there just fine. But overall, it's a solid kit for most of your needs. 29 bucks. Doesn't have the connections to fit it on a mod box, but it is a solid. It doesn't feel like the really hard, brittle plastic. There's a little bit of give to it. And of course, it's got that bright orange Klein color I like. Anyway, this is a 32799 Pro Impact Power Bit Set. And with that, Doc out.